So we are live. Hi, George. Hi,
Hi, Elena.
everyone. Hi, it's Elena Bartash, real estate investor, and my guest today is George Paredes, experienced investor, my friend. Hi, George.
Hi, Elena. Thank you for the introduction. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for agreeing to be my guest. So, a couple of months ago, I I was offered by my friend to become a podcast guest, and I did not feel myself confident because I did not have experience that time, and I wasn't ready. But my mentor says, "Act before you're ready," and I said, "Yes, of course, I want to be guest on podcast." But thank you, George, to give me this chance to be my first host. It was really cool and funny. And today, you, my guest.
There you go. How the roles switch, and by you taking those actions, and obviously having somebody great like Jesse to back you up
Yep.
and see that the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so tell people, please, a little bit about yourself.
Sure. George Paredes, locally here in Houston, Texas. As far as real estate investing, doing it for about 3 years now. I think I'm going on four. Sub two for about 2 years. It's been a journey. It's been a fun one. Before real estate, it's originally from New Jersey. Graduated, came down to
Oh,
Houston. I thought I was going to see cowboys and carts and shootouts, and no, Houston was not like that. And graduating, joining the army, working a couple jobs, getting some. It's very interesting, but yeah, just enjoying the journey thus far, and always having that smile on my face. I probably came out the womb, out my mama, ooh, smiling. Even though I had no teeth, probably just gums, but you know. But yeah, trying to put that smile on people's faces, and obviously, getting closer to God, that there's a lot of things that we have to appreciate. We may not be where we want to be, but where He wants us to be at the moment, and enjoying that moment.
right. Life is too short, right?
Yes,
Actually, JC, he teaches us about branding. And
branding.
branding, it's right, it's something very unique about ourselves that will not let people to forget us. Nathaniel, right? Shane, what they use to be visible for people, right? Nathaniel speaks with people without too short, and everyone saying, this guy, naked guy. And,
Probably got
you
pants
know,
on.
about you, I would say, oh, this guy who always smiles, who always positive. So this is your brand.
That
Your
is that
smile
is
is your brand.
it is Elena. So then that's why my wife helped me choose the name of my business. Optimistically, it's saying real estate solutions with a touch of glee, and glee's with a
Yeah.
smile. Always smiling through the phone, trying to pick you up, and like, oh, Elena, why are you talking so low? What's wrong? Like, pick up that energy. Come on, let's do it. Why are you so down? And yeah, just trying to be that ray of light that you may be just having a bad day and trying to um put that smile on somebody's face.
All right. All right. How to survive in this weird world if you would be negative? No way. You're
Mhm.
positive, and you make people
Yeah,
happy around you.
true, true,
Yeah.
true. And to some people that's irritating, and that's crazy, but also learning to get your ego out the way and knowing that you're not for everybody. But it's trying to enlighten as many people as you can with your brand, or with your energy.
Oh yes. Oh yes. In my language, in Ukrainian culture, we have proverb: "I am not candy, or I am not chocolate to be liked by everyone."
I like
But
that.
yeah, but it's still nice when you have relationship with people, right? And your positivity helps you.
True, true. Especially with,
Yeah.
with our business, dealing with agents, dealing
Oh
with
wow.
sellers, dealing with
Oh wow.
buyers, and it's a relationship at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, even you, such a positive person, you have sometimes down times, right?
True,
How
true.
do you handle it? How do you handle it? What is your secret sauce?
I think from I'm pretty sure you're doing the same thing, Elena. So just reading certain books and learning that you can have a pity party, but don't live in it. It's like, all right, I messed up. Okay, what's next? What can I do about it? Or
Mm-hmm,
having that optimistic look of what is this lesson teaching me? What good
mm-hmm.
can I get out of it? And yeah, there are bad days, but try not to let that overcome your day because there's so much other things to be grateful for. I don't know, but yeah, I try. Obviously, there are bad days, but obviously having a supportive wife that tells me, "Hey, get up,
Mm,
don't stop crying," just toughen up to where
yeah.
it helps out. Obviously, having that structure and learning not to do so much people pleasing. From within, just know that at the end of the day, God knows what you're made out of. And at the end of the day,
Oh
it's
yeah.
about, pleasing God at the end of the day, not the people. But the right people know your energy, know about you. So those are the people that are important, I guess, if that
Oh
answers your
yes.
question.
Oh yes. You just mentioned you have nice wife, and it's such a blessing to have family around you, to have such a support. I believe maybe it's number one support, right?
True.
Family. Yeah. You
True.
agree? Yeah.
Yeah, in a way, yes. If I can be blunt, Elena, it is. Obviously, the things that we do, obviously, you have a different background than mine to where it is having a comfortable job. And then, I'm going to try this real estate stuff. And then my family's like, what are you doing, George? You're crazy. Why do you leave the comfortable mail we call 'em, mailman job? You're putting mail in the mailbox. You're saying hi to the customers, and you have a pretty good paying job. Why do this? And so they didn't understand that, and it took me a while to understand that it's not their journey, it's my journey. But obviously, once I was able to overcome that and explain, or they actually saw me actually doing a couple deals, and now they're like, okay, I see it now, and so
It
it's
makes
being
sense. It
appreciative of
makes
it.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So in the result, you get support. I met, some people who complain they have not found support from their family, and it's really pity because who, if not your family members, can support you?
right.
It's
And,
so pity.
but as cliche as it does sound, Elena, it is all about the big man having that your eyes
Oh
up there
yes.
to where he's putting you in that situation for a reason. He's making you that trendsetter. That person that's gonna take the action to where if your whole family's alcoholics, it's like, so no, the
Oh.
chain stops here. I'm gonna start this, and you're being that trendsetter and being
Oh
that
yeah.
leader, like Jesse shares a lot of times, being able to do the things that other people are not willing to do, putting yourself above, putting other people above all of them. It's things like that, like from the military that I'm pretty sure Jesse has shared
Mhm.
about selfless service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Service and gratitude. Service and gratitude. Right. Yeah. Do you remember any some maybe funniest or most absurd mistakes you made early in your career, and how it makes you and now it makes you smile?
Um, just not overthinking things and knowing that it's just, I guess, something funny I told the other day somebody about here in Texas we use what the agents use a trek contract to where one of
Mhm.
my partners, his name's Uber, he's in sub two as well. They're like, George, can you do this contract for me? I'm like, man, I'm not an agent. I don't know how to do that. And it's funny, Elena, it took me about an hour to do that contract, but I was so nervous because I wanted it to be so perfect to where now I can laugh and say, man, I can do a contract with you right now. We're talking, but I know I won't be able to give you my full attention, but I'll be able to do that like in 15 minutes, even with the sub two addendum to where like wow, it's showing why and maybe not so much funny, but more like overthinking things. Sometimes we want everything to be so perfect and we have to say the
Yeah.
right thing or I have to but we will never know all the answers, and the beautiful part about it is learning not to take yourself so seriously.
Yeah. And you remember the time, right? It was in now it's funny.
He's like, "Oh man, I want to be so perfect. Like, man, why is it taking me a whole hour to do this?" And I was like, "What?" And I guess funny would be oh, I would say what I did like Lena. I would say when I first started, there was a time when I wasn't getting any success, so I started cold calling for another investor here in Houston.
Mhm.
And so I remember, man, they tell me bad things on the phone, like, "Do you see do you see a sign in front of my door?" And I didn't know what to say. I'm like, "No, no, no, sir." But now learning to get that callous, and I would say now, Elena's like, "Well, sir, actually, I wouldn't know if you had a sign in front of your door because I'm actually legally blind, and I'm using a braille keyboard
Mm.
to type." And now they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry," because it is learning that you have to have the confidence and that nobody should shake you. At the end of the day, you're just here to provide value. See if you need to sell, not to want to sell. So I guess that could be a funny or adding my where I don't get bothered, but thinking quick on my feet is kind of asking those questions and not taking yourself too seriously. Where agent may be like, "I don't like creative financing. I think it's illegal." And you're like, "Well, Elena, will you tell me?
Oh,
Tell me why you think it's illegal. I'm curious. I want to know about you. I hear an accent, Elena. Where are you from?" And try to
yeah.
drop that guard. And so it's just getting to know the person and learning that part.
Oh my, it's so funny. You just mentioned some people say it's illegal. Yeah, I was in this situation a couple of times. Every time, really, it's funny. It's illegal just because I don't know it. That's it. Because I don't have this knowledge. I never studied. I didn't have conversation with anyone about this, so it's illegal. It's easy for me.
Right.
Yeah.
But is it being able to understand that, but not like not push on that or make them not to belittle them. Like, Elaine, tell me why you think it's illegal. I'm curious. I would love to know your opinion. And so
Yeah.
you're letting them talk, and you're like, oh, because you never know. They may have just had a bad experience, and they don't like it anymore, or maybe they weren't like saying explain to it the right way, or like say
Mm.
just instead of saying, you know what, George, I don't know. Can you share with what you know? Oh, great. I can.
Yeah.
I like talking about myself. Let me explain how many deals I've done, why I think creative financing it's not for everyone. It just picks it fits certain scenarios, certain problems that can be solved.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. When people get a little bit more deeper, get deeper in creative finance, yeah, they see usually smart people. I mean, they see lots of solutions, lots of opportunities, and like you
Yes,
said, we can help people with this type of finance, right?
right.
Yeah.
True, true.
So many people who's struggling with foreclosure. Yeah. Oh my, she's such a big topic.
True.
Um, do you remember when you first started in wholesaling? What difficulties felt like a real quest with super challenging levels, and how did you overcome them?
The understanding of you can't just pay for a business. You have
Mm,
to actually be in it. And we leave well, like I said, being in the army, being in the post office, being a couple warehouse jobs, the standards because you get trained, you get taught this, and so coming out here is like you see somebody like Paige, like, how you doing? This is how I do a deal. Like, oh man, I can do that. But you don't realize there's so many steps behind. And it's being patient
yeah.
enough to learn the skills. But I would say that the hardest lesson was to when I first got out of the post office, getting all my money, because luckily I did kind of mess with stocks. I did do 401k, so
Mm.
I took all that money out and I paid for a VA, I paid for a dialer, and during that time, Elena,
Oh,
I'd be watching TV. Hey, man, ain't no deals coming in. What's going on?
yeah.
2 months, 3 months. So like, hey guys, how come I'm not getting nothing?
Where are
Like,
my deals?
where are my
Where are my
deals?
deals?
George, are you not training your VA? Like, I have to train him? Yes. oh, oh crap. Every month, money going out, money, no money coming in. And then being scared to say, oh man, I have to fire him because I'm not having no more money and I'm
Be-
not getting
be-
the
because
results.
I did not train him. Because I did not train him, right? Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
So it was funny, and obviously it was that was hard. Is learning that in order, if I want you to cold call for me, Elena, I need to
Mm,
at least know of it. I can explain that this job is hard, but I need it. This job is important to where I try to
mm,
use the analogy of it's being like the owner of your business, and everybody likes to take a, I'll say the right word, a poopy in the bathroom. And if you don't have nobody to clean the bathroom, you have to clean that bathroom until you can either get the money to hire a janitor
yeah,
or have somebody that's willing to do that for you. So yeah, it's learning to
yeah,
basically know what you're talking about so you have the confidence because you've been there. I can now say I've cold called over 100 hours. I've led a manager over 100 hours. I've closed a couple deals, and I came to a realization, Elena, it's not that I'm a better closer. I'm just talking to motivated leads. Yes, George, I understand I'm going to foreclosure. I understand that I'm not going to keep my property and I'm not going to get the money I want. But what can you do for me? Boom. Okay. I
yeah,
need a statement amount. I need to know all this stuff so I can see what I can give you. Stuff like that. But it doesn't
yeah,
happen all the time. It's hard. It's
right.
requiring those people to help you prospect, to motivate a lead, and then to understand if the numbers even make sense for somebody like yourself that I may present that opportunity to you. Hey, Lena, I got this nice little properties for closer. I'm trying to get
Yeah,
$1,000 in it. This is what you're gonna get. What do you think? And go from
right.
there.
And clear explanation. Yeah, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, it sounds like really high level professionalism. It always high level of knowledge
Yes,
and high level of confidence and consistency, right?
true.
Yeah, yeah. And you mentioned you have employees, you work with people, you have team. Oh, so my question is, how your professional life changed after you started employing people? How it affected your internal responsibility, and what in general changes in your mindset with this
Got
with this type of responsibility?
gotcha, Lena. Actually, yeah, I'm still in the process of being able to get all this that I know up here onto paper, onto ChatGPT, how to create a script, how to have those roles and responsibilities, but at the same
Mm,
time do it, but also have the patience. So I'm still learning that, and I think what the challenge is, Elena, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people like Jesse can say like, how do I let go of the control? Hey, Elena, this is the code calling script. Do it. What do you need from me?
yeah.
Like, how do you call? Like, pick up the phone. At least start. That way you can test it out, and then we can talk about what feelings you may have because I can relate to those feelings. But until you do it yourself, then I don't know. But I guess the answer to your question is releasing that control and knowing that what am I good at? I'm good at closing. I'm not good at
Mm,
TC transition
mhm,
coordinating. I'm not good at dispoing, and I don't need to be cold calling all day. I don't need to be on the phone just with some a dead signal the whole time. I'm
mm,
ready to close deals and let go of the control. Let everybody else do their job because I can say I've done a deal from A to Z many times.
mm,
Angel, I always make fun of Angel. Like, I haven't done a deal with a TC yet. I've done all the work, but I know that once I get to that level where I do have 5 deals a month, which is going to help with the team, I will need somebody like Angel or Chris or another transition coordinator to help me. But then again, that's learning, building that relationship with that TC as well. They have to know how I work, and I have to know how they work too. So at the end of the day, it's building those relationships and building that trust that this person is good in this spot, this person is good in this spot, and it works like perfect harmony.
yeah, and for those people who watching us right now, Angel and Chris, there are business partners for my mentor, Jesse Stanton, and George is Jesse's friend as well. So we know each other,
Yes.
and we are very lucky to meet each other. And JC is wonderful mentor. So Chris and
Yes.
Angel, there are wonderful GCs, and there are awesome people who support us all the time. So it sounds like a real estate investors mafia,
Yes,
right?
it does.
We are all together. We support each other. We know each
Right.
other. We met each other. We build friendship. Yeah, it's positive and great mafia when you can
Right.
rely on each other. It's so cool. Okay, this is topic I can speak nonstop about how cool is our community.
Yes, it's good. It's obviously it's kind of like when you first, even if you're not in sub two, the amount of value Pace gives, and obviously yes,
Yeah,
he's selling something, but obviously it's not a mentorship. It's more of a community. So it is being
yeah,
able to just like you'll call me George. How do I do this? How do I do that? And like yeah, well you do this. You have to have this in place, and not really looking for anything in return because it's learning to be humble enough to give what I've learned, and by me sharing that knowledge with you, it helps me retain it more too. So it's kind of like the phrase where you want to always be with somebody who knows more than you, just enough
yeah,
as enough as you, and knows less. So you're always learning, you're always keeping up, and you're always teaching somebody.
yeah. And like Jesse teaches us, our boundaries need to be stretched, right? And
Yes,
it's so cool when you feel this pain, and after you've done this step and you look back, it was not as much scary. It
it
wasn't, and
was
really is not much difficult, but you still
true,
need to make this step, right?
right? It is it goes the understanding. I like the analogy we use in not only real estate investing, Elena, but also in just entrepreneurship. It's like you're
Mm.
always going in a storm, coming out of a storm, or you're in a storm, but it's being comfortable in that storm. Just like I believe in, there's a verse in the Bible where Jesus is chilling in the boat in the storm.
Yeah, and
What?
everyone is crazy.
Come on, who am I?
Yeah.
Am I not the son of God? Calm down. So it's learning to be comfortable in those stages within ourselves. So like, oh man, I got a deal. What's next? Like, calm down. We still have a lot more steps. We have to open up escrow. We have to find a buyer. We have to make sure title's clear. We have to go see the property. And there's so many steps. So it's learning to be comfortable in those situations. And then like say having a community when you do run into obstacles, like not getting scared. Like, I wonder if Jesse can help me. I wonder if Angel can ask. Maybe let me stop being
Mm.
stubborn and just pay Angel and Chris to TC this deal for me, so I don't have to worry about those troublesome things.
Yeah, you gave such a cool example from Bible. Yeah, it's from Matthew, I
Okay.
believe, when Jesus was in the boat with his students, right, and he fall
Yes.
asleep, and storm started, everyone getting crazy, and they say, "Why you sleep, Jesus? Why you sleep? I don't
Right.
care about us." Yeah, it's our faith is everything for us.
Yes, ma'am. And
Yeah,
that's why
good,
I
George.
like to share, Elena, the path of entrepreneurship is so aligned with faith, to where it's a
Yeah.
lot of ups and downs. Just like with faith, like God, why are you putting me in this situation? To where no, God, what are you trying to teach me in this situation? Let me see what
Mhm.
is it that I'm looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard from some people we should ask not why, we should ask for what,
Yes,
right? Like you said,
true, true.
what he wants us to teach. It's so
Right.
cool. Awesome. But anyway, I just would like to share with you. Me and my business partner Fiona, we are hiring right now operations managers. So it takes for us a long time. We had couple not positive examples, but we know we will find. We know we don't have any other options. We will find.
Right.
And it looks we found. So yesterday we sent job offer to one great lady. She accepted our job offer, and
Ooh.
now, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Right.
I hope she will be happy with us. And now my crazy nature says to me, Lena, Keep yourself. Don't expect too much. Don't
Yes.
expect everyone is as much speed as you are.
True.
Let people live. Let people learn. So I'm really a little bit worried. I can push her away because my speed, my personal, my expectation. We should do
Right.
this. Let's do this right now. Okay. And
Yeah.
yeah, and you're pretty much speedy as well. So how you handle situations when your guys does not like perform the way how you want them to perform?
Well, that's a great question, Lena. I'm actually learning that right now, and it goes to using like these softwares like ChatGPT, to where in my
Mm,
business, I need a cold caller. I need to explain the processes. This is the guidelines. This is what I need you to do, and then obviously learning how to talk to people. It's not, hey, why aren't you doing this, Elena? I noticed the hours that you told me that you wanted to do each week. They're not. I don't see the results. Is there something that
mm,
I failed to explain to you?
mm,
Because in the system it shows, look, this is how many calls I'm doing, and I'm only in here for 2 hours, but you should be in here for 8 hours. So I'm just curious. My numbers look way bigger than yours, and what is going on? How can I help you understand better, or am I explaining it wrong? And then letting them understand, because it is, Elena, learning that some people are visual learners, some people are auditory, and some people need both,
yeah,
or they need a whiteboard. Hey, let me break it down on the whiteboard so I can explain it. Maybe I'm not explaining it right. Just like what's up
yeah,
too. When you're explaining on the phone, the agent's like confused, like, bro, I don't even own my own
yeah.
property. I do this part time. It's like, and then sometimes because you put in an email, now the numbers make sense. Oh, okay, now I understand that. And I think if
Mm,
to answer your questions, Elena, is to have the patience, and like you mentioned, not to expect too much, but also learn how to express yourself. What are your expectations? Can you meet these
mm.
expectations? Hmm.
Yeah,
And then
good
I'll give
advice.
feedback if they leave, because a lot of times I've dealt with that, Elena, where people have left because they're like, yeah, George, I want to work with you, I want to do this, and I'm like, man, what do I say, man? Elena hasn't made no calls in 2 weeks. But then what can I say, because I'm not paying her? But also I have to think back to the mindset to where, no, this is my business. I have to treat her like a business. Hey, Elena, it seems like we're not a good fit. Seems like I don't know if you're distracted by something else, but at this time I would love to leave as friends, but obviously, if you have something else, let me know. I'm always here to JV. I love JV because that
Mm,
means I don't have to work as hard. But I would say, if there's any feedback you can give me, is there something I could have done better? So when the next person comes in, now maybe those expectations will be clear for the next go around.
mm. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, great advice. Uh, let's let me ask you. Do you remember any funny stories, or funny examples, which you came through with your clients, with homeowners, maybe during negotiations or whatever, with buyers? Something funny from your experience.
I don't know. I don't know if it's funny. I do have a interesting story. I think I'm able to share
Mm,
that story. A lot of times, Elena, being in Houston, sometimes other fellow investors are not in the Houston market, even though they invest in here. But sometimes they need help with what they call boots on the ground, where basically
okay.
I
Yeah.
provide my service. I go to the property, I take pictures, and so this particular situation, the investors had they had the property under contract, but for some reason the lady wasn't answering her phone. So like,
Mm,
George,
mm,
do you
mm.
mind if can you go see this property? We'll pay you, you know. But this lady hasn't answered the phone, so I'm like, okay, I'll stop what I'm doing. I could use $100. So I
Mm.
drive, and then I'm knocking on the door, like nothing. And then I'm like, oh man, I don't know what's going on. And I call the investors, hey bro, I don't know what's going on. They're like, hey, can you check on the door on the side? And so I walk around and I see the door look like it got broken in, like somebody kicked it. It's like, oh crap, what I
Oh
do?
wow.
And so I had them on what do you think I should do? Man, I don't know, man. She is older, hopefully she's
Oh
not dead.
wow.
And
Yeah.
so I'm like, well, I'll go in, guys. I don't care. Let's go. Let's figure this out. So I had them on speaker. And so, like, I would
Okay.
say each room I would go, excuse me, ma'am, don't shoot me. I'm just here to check on you, like real loud. And so I will open up the garage.
Don't shoot on me.
Don't shoot me. I just want pictures, no problem. And so went through the whole house. I'm like, crap, I don't see nobody. But I did see the safe open. She had a small safe. So I'm thinking
Okay.
like in the movies, wow, did she get kidnapped or did somebody, break in? Because the door did kick
Oh
in.
wow.
But
Oh wow.
what was I guess like say it was cool, but from what I understood, it wasn't about 24 hours. What we didn't know, I was asking the investors, hey, have you heard anything? But unfortunately, the lady passed away the day before, and so I think one of the family members kicked in the door
Oh.
and took her, because I don't know if it was a situation where now ambulance rides cost so much.
Oh.
I figured they just took her to the hospital to try, but unfortunately she passed
Oh.
away. But I was,
Oh.
I guess, in the, like the ray of sunshine where I was being, I took that, like saying not overthinking. I just went in there, but I was like, hey man, don't shoot me. I'm just here to take pictures and make sure you're all right. And yeah, yeah, that was an interesting story. And they were like, damn, George, you're courageous. I was like, well, I didn't really think about it. I just walked in, maybe that was dumb on me, but I'm like, hopefully I didn't touch too many things to where if it was a crime scene, they're like, all right, Mr. Paredes, we need you to come down and get fingerprints.
Oh wow.
But yeah, luckily, like I say, in a way, it's a sad story, but it was a interesting story. So to kind of share with in real estate, anything that can go wrong will go wrong,
Right.
and not every deal is going to be the same.
You're you're right. Like, go fail as fast as possible, as soon as possible, right? If
Yep.
something will go wrong, goes wrong, let it go. Calm
Yeah.
down and wait until it will be done.
Yeah, because it goes. I think
Yeah.
Mike Tyson says a phrase, Elena, like, "It's all fun and games till you get punched in the mouth." You're like, "Oh," because you can do the scripts, and they're gonna throw you off. Like, "Oh crap!" Just like with the story I just told you, you don't expect to go to the house and expect somebody to pass away. You're like, "Oh crap! This really
Oh
can
wow.
happen."
Uh, yeah, it's really sad story, but in the same time, it was lucky story because if would not you, nobody knows if she lived alone, right? And she stayed
Yes,
alone. Oh,
true, true, true.
so
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it was sad, but like I said, in an interesting sense to where, it's
yeah.
you're going in with a good intent. Like, oh, I'm gonna do something foul. No, I'm here to check on you. Hopefully, you're alive. Hopefully, I don't see you because even though I was a nurse. Well, I did actually. I did go to school to become a nurse, but I just took the
Mm,
prerequisites. So like, oh man, I can't remember how
yeah.
to do CPR. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. Then tilt the back and like, oh man, I can't remember all this. Hopefully I don't run into that situation.
Act before you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Just do something.
Just do something. Beat on the chest. Pop, pop, pop.
Just don't kill.
Yeah, don't break her neck. Like, actually, yeah, because there was another situation where my grandma was sick, and my aunt she overreacted like, "Mom, come on!" Like, wait, wait, hey, no, you're gonna break her neck. Get away. Open up her, open up her wind passage. Let her breathe. Call 911. What's 911? I was like, nine, one, one.
Just try.
Just
Just
try no,
try.
but because they were so overwhelmed with emotions, they weren't thinking right. So I came in there and I was kind of like that person of calmness. So if anything, I think that's another one of my superpowers, Elena, is being able to being calm or calm the situation down to where it is
Mm,
people a lot of times people call me and like we'll spend an hour on the phone and I'm like I just trying to talk them through the process and eventually getting that way with these sellers. It's understanding I'm not trying to figure out or pushing a corner based on this foreclosure. I want to
mm,
understand what is this foreclosure stopping you from doing? What is the destination that you're trying to get to? And how can I be that guide to guide you that way. I don't want to put you in a corner where I'm forcing you to sell to me, or
Yeah.
you're gonna ghost me. It's more understanding what about this foreclosure is bothering you. What is it that is stopping you from doing the probate? What about this probate are you not understanding? How can I help you through the probate process? And the same thing with the sellers. George, I got money. I want to buy a property. Okay, what kind of property do you want? Asking those questions, understanding what is it they want, so we can help them get there.
Yeah, cool. Because Houston's hot market, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Even though Pace he didn't like it at first, but from what I hear, it changes because of the taxes and insurance. It's Florida too, I
Yeah.
believe. The tax and insurance
Yeah.
kind of mess things up, and so if you're buying a homestead, once the homestead I guess expires, because that's like a secondary or an investment property, the insurances rise a lot, and it throws off
Yeah.
the number.
Yeah. But yeah, but anyway, I live in Massachusetts, and I know people still make here wholesaling. I honestly, I don't know why. I'm sorry for those who loves Massachusetts. I love Massachusetts, but I
But
have
not
no
to
idea
invest.
why. Yeah, but not for investment.
Hmm.
I know it's totally not landlord friendly state, and lack of inventory makes it impossible to start investing here. Yeah, it's
Right.
okay. Someone
Hey,
invest in California. I don't know why.
yeah,
It's
we
okay.
have 49 other states. We can buy some
Yeah,
igloos with Jesse in Alaska. Buy a couple
yeah,
igloos.
yeah, yeah, yeah. George, yeah, you sound very experienced, and you sound like you came through difficult situation, different situation with your colleagues, with homeowners. So what kind of advice would you give to yourself or whoever who just started wholesaling? Silly
Obviously,
question.
yeah, this is a great question. Obviously, I think we talked about it in the beginning. Just take that action. Don't be afraid to be embarrassed. Don't be afraid to take that leap of faith. Don't pick up that call, because I know a lot of people, they'll say, "Man, that phone is so heavy." Uh, 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 Hello, just talk. But it takes time, and if any advice, I would obviously, if you're in sub two, you already paid for the
Mhm.
mentorship. The knowledge is there. Don't get lost in it. Have that experience, or do like Elena, get further mentorship through Jesse. There's so many other leaders within the sub two community that it depends who you're going to match with. Just like the operation manager you're looking for, it's got to be that right person that matches your energy, that understands
Yeah.
you, and hopefully it's somebody that you can learn from as well. Because I like to use the Henry. I like Henry Ford. I think we spoke about it before. How Henry Ford, he wasn't the smartest person. He just hired the right people, put them in the right spot, and treated them well. And so,
Oh yeah.
to answer your question, I would just join a team and understand that one team that you join, you may not stay with them forever, but learn as much as you can, analyze what was good, what was bad, and then try another team as you progress. Don't be afraid to do work for free. Obviously, if you're doing it for money, I would suggest you go back to work. But understanding that obviously if you have a job, like Pay says, leverage that job. Leverage other
Yeah.
people. Hey George, I don't have time to call. I don't have, but I do have money. What if I what if I pay for a VA? You can train that VA. I can supply this, I can supply this, but how does the money look like? Well, how much do you want back? And obviously that's in negotiations.
Yeah. Cool. George, to be honest, do you like real estate?
I like it. Yeah, I do like it. Obviously, because I have so much levels to reach, so that's why I love
Mm.
it. I mean, obviously, it's getting to know people like yourself and getting to meet other people that are way ahead to where tired landlord. George, I got 30 properties. I'm tired. I want to retire. So it's like, oh man, eventually I want to get there, and it's learning from them because obviously not too much has changed other than the way you
Mm.
structure deals. And
Yeah.
so obviously I like hearing their stories, but obviously learning how to, like say, compartmentalize that time frame to where it is. What is my purpose of this call?
Mm.
what is it that I need from this call, and be, just have fun with it. I guess if that makes sense, Elena, it's not taking yourself too
Yeah,
seriously, but using this as a stepping stone. Because I would like to be somebody like Jesse, to use what I'm learning and be able to, have a mentorship of myself. But first, I have to make sure that this wholesaling business is set. The foundation is not going to crumble. Then I can do
yeah,
DTS. Then I can be a connector to where all I'm doing is connecting people, and they don't mind that I get paid off of that because they value
yeah,
my service.
yeah. Experience. Yeah. So if you would get task, or if you would got idea right now to write a book, so what would this book to be about, and what title?
Good question. Because it's funny, Elena, a lot of people don't realize, but everybody likes to talk about themselves. So I
Yeah,
think I can say, I can't just write one book. I think it's gonna be multiple ones. But I don't know.
of course
Uh,
you would write it about yourself because you are the one, the topic who you know the best. You
right,
cannot
because it
write
is.
about someone about, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but the reason why I say multiple books, because it's like so many chapters in my life where I was pretty much always the same self, but it was like
Mm-hmm.
in the army. It's like it's so many stories that they can like. Damn, George used to do that. Used to do that. Like, yeah, I was pretty crazy. But being able to be able to share those things, I don't know, a funny journey, optimistic journey. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, and still about real estate.
Yeah, well, I would say more like just life, and obviously learning life, and how like there's so much beauty out there that sometimes
Mm.
we kind of fall into the social standards of, oh, I have to look beautiful, I have to do this. No, I why can't I just enjoy life? Why can't I make enough money to be able to travel the world, see the beauty of the world, and also be able to give as well? And so just learning that journey, the journey of learning, like finding your purpose. Obviously, even before we came
Yeah.
out the womb, God had a purpose for all of us. But sometimes we're still stuck fitting somebody else's standard that we're not being our true self. So it'll be something around the journey of finding yourself or finding your purpose in life.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Oh, actually, I wanted just to ask you, what are your whys? What motivates you to stay in this crazy game?
That's a question my wife asks me every morning. Like, George, how do you wake up? You're like, rah, come on, let's do it. Like a Tony Robbins type of thing. Just wanting to, meet people like yourself, and like if I hear you with a low voice, like, Elena, why are you so sad? And then
Yeah.
because you have that act of, or maybe I make you feel comfortable, you're able to share that with me, and hopefully by the end of the call, I have picked up your spirit in one way or the other. Just to kind of like be
Cool,
that candle. Come on, Elena, let me light you up. Let me lighten up your spirits.
cool.
Having all the energy in here, like, "Roar." There you go. Yeah,
It's cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, George. It was so cool, so awesome. So always awesome meeting you. Always awesome talking to you. Yeah, you are inspiration for people, and the most important, you are awesome person. Yeah, I'm proud to be your friend. I'm proud meeting you. I'm so grateful to Alan who
Yes.
introduced me to you. And yeah, thank you so much.
Well, thank you,
Thank
Elaine.
you
You're
so
doing
much,
a great job.
George.
I can't wait to
Thank
see
you.
where you're at this time next year.
Oh, wow.
Way up there.
Okay, let's keep each other update, okay, about our
Sounds
wins.
cool,
Awesome.
cool. All
Thank you
right.
so much, George. Yeah. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.